So this is a beautiful day out on my back porch. This is Tony from the Frazier Museum, and it's chilly. You can see it's chilly out, which is lovely, and the wind is blowing. Great day for a poem. I bring this up because it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and I thought perhaps one way to show an appreciation for a teacher would be to write them a poem. Now, a relatively simple way to do this is an acrostic poem. Perhaps you've heard of these, maybe you haven't. You've probably seen them, even if you haven't, if you don't know it. And that's often when you take someone's name or an item, something you want to write a poem about, and you put the first letter vertically in a line or a column. And then you start every line of your poem with these letters, each line with a different letter. And that could be as simple as a list poem. So for instance, maybe this teacher Smith was, in fact, smart, motivated, intelligent, thoughtful, and helpful. And so these are all wonderful attributes that you want to kind of bring to light about this person. Or another way, perhaps a little bit more challenging, but maybe more satisfying as far as a poem goes, is you could make it the beginning of a phrase which tells a little bit more about this person, or at least a moment. And sometimes one way to do it is to think about a moment that makes you smile, that makes you laugh, that you had with this particular person. And if you've seen, I don't know if you've seen the video about our favorite teachers, I mentioned Buck Lyford, a man who taught me how to frame houses. So if you didn't, just very briefly, the moment that almost always sticks in my head, he taught me how to frame houses, as I said. And when I thought, the first day I was nervous. Many times we are, the first time we're looking at something to do. And I thought, looking up at this house when I got to the site, that this is going to be great. I'm going to learn how to do all of this stuff and jump in, let's do it. And of course, that's not the way it worked out. Buck was very insistent that I needed to learn the basics. One of those basics, hammer and nails. So he put me with a box and a big piece of wood and had me hammering nails for hours. Or maybe probably more like an hour, but it seemed like forever. And so I kind of wished that I was doing other things, but it was really important because I learned in that day, I learned something that has helped me in all of my projects where I have to hammer nails. All of them. So this is the poem I wrote. His last name was, just so you know, his last name was Lyford. And I thought of that story, and so this is what came out. And it's not a great poem. It's not a, but it does kind of talk about that particular moment. Laughing at the nails, I drive dozens of them firmly into a post, only wishing I were on the rooftop with the rest, but drumming with a new knowledge. So it's not a fantastic poem, but it does talk about a moment that meant a great deal to me. And it would, for me, this perhaps means more than just listing the nice things about him. But that's for me. If the way you can best talk about your teacher is to list all of their wonderful attributes, then do that. But this is a really fun way, I think, a fun way to show someone what you think and how you care and how you appreciate them. So I encourage you to go and write your own acrostic poem this week, next week, any day. Sometimes, there really isn't a statute of limitations on gratitude. You can always show your gratitude. So if you don't do it this week, just think about it. I bet your teachers, particularly your writing teachers, will enjoy this. So I hope you do it and have a wonderful day. Send them in. If you have them, send them in. We'd love to see them.